okay, this is for Ryan. So again, we're going to use this tree as the offensive tackle. All right. So it sounds like he's at right defensive end. All right. So if he's lining up on the tackle, typically, I know how I coached it. I would have him on the outside shoulder of the tackle. Okay. He'd line up on the outside, not straight up on the tackle, on the outside shoulder, because we don't want to get him locked in so that they can run sweeps around me. So I want to make sure that he's on the outside shoulder. So what does that mean? That means, come around this way. That means my head would be, if my head's here, my head is lined up on his outside shoulder. If his helmet was here, his helmet was in the middle of this tree, my head would be lined up on his outside shoulder. Because I want to be able to take this outside shoulder, shove it in, so I have the outside. And he can't pin me in. Otherwise, if he gets on this side of me, boom, they can pin me in, and then they sweep around the other side. So on this, I want to line him up. Now, again, that's where his alignment is. So you're going to have to talk with the coach to see where they want him to line. Again, how we practice, and I told you how for him to take a stance here, is his feet are a little bit wider than shoulder width apart. All right. Now this is for defense. His feet are a little bit wider than shoulder width apart. Sits his butt down, so his elbow is down on his knees. I got my stuff in my here. His elbows on his knees, and then he takes that one foot, puts it out a little bit, and drops his hand. All right, gets his elbow hand off his knee. All right, and that's what he's doing. Now with this, I should be able to look down the sideline. I should be able to look down. See how I'm turning my head slightly? I'm seeing this guy. Let's put my hat on this way. I'm seeing this guy, but I'm also seeing the ball. All right? So I'm seeing the ball. I'm seeing him. So when that ball snaps, boom, I snap. All right? As soon as that ball goes, I go. All right? Again, now when we're talking about this, make sure that Ryan is always firing off straight. All right? Meaning, most little kids are going to do this. They're going to, if they get in a good stance, they're going to do this. The first thing they're going to do is stand up. All right? Got to teach him not to stand up. We want to teach him to fire straight off. So that first step is boom, shoulders down. Look at my back. Here, engaging. Boom, pushing under, grabbing it. All right? So we want to be able to fire off, and we want to fire off strong. So we want to knock the snot out this kid every time. Unless we're doing something different where we're going to do a swim, or something else. But, so that's what he should be doing. We should, at home, get him in a good stance and fire off. All right? That's for the defensive tackle spot. The other thing for the defensive tackle, notice what I did here when I was down in my stance. If I'm an offensive tackle, so now erase that, we're going to stay in that same vein, but now he's against me. And this is his reads, what his reads should be. Typically, if a coach teaches kids how I taught them, because I want my offensive line aggressive. I want to hit people in the mouth, and I want to push them, okay? If they're teaching them the right way and how to get in a good three-point stance, you will see kids reach out, and you will see the pressure of their fingers right here digging into the dirt. You will see the weight on their fingers. If you see the weight on their fingers, most likely it's a run play. Why? Because if I'm going to go against you, and let's say that's Ryan, and I'm going to fire off as hard as I can. And the only way I can fire off as hard as I can is to be down in a good three-point stance with that weight leaning forward. All right? Now, if he sees a kid and he's just almost like he can just brush the ground like this and just barely touching the ground, typically that's a pass set. That means they're going to most likely pass the ball. Because his first thing is not to go that way. which is what I would do if I was leaning out. You see how I'm leaning out? If I'm going to do a pass set, I'm not going that way. First thing I'm doing is here, all right? So I'm sitting, all right? So I'm not going to be putting my weight all the way forward on my hand, because that means it's going to take me longer to get up in my pass set. Versus if I'm in a pass set, I just barely touch here, boom, and I'm ready to take on the defensive lineman. So those are his two reads. After he sees that, he needs to say, okay, and then every kid is different. So after a couple of plays, a couple of run plays, and then they do a couple of pass plays, see if the player is doing something that's a tell, that tells you what they're doing. Meaning he's putting too much weight on his hand. Every time they put his weight on the hand, they run the ball. Okay, so that tells me, so later on in the second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter, then you know that's probably what's going to be happening the whole game. If you see them, especially if they set like this, and they're just in a 2-point stance here, I hate to put my kids in that because, one, it takes away the element of surprise. Two, kids can't be, it's hard to be aggressive from here, okay, in a 2-point stance. If I want to be a mauling, run the ball team, it's hard for me to be aggressive and I'm already up. So now if I'm already up, now that defensive tackle, if he's down, he's going to be up under me every time, which is not a way you want your offensive tackle to be able to take on blockers. All right? So again, even when they're if they're in the 2-point stance here and they're getting ready to run the ball, see what they're doing. Does this kid, come a little bit up on his toes a little bit? When he knows he's going to have to run, when we're going to run the ball. Does he sit back when he knows we're going to pass? You can see him where he could bring his toes up because he's sitting back on his heels because he knows it's getting ready to be a pass place and he's going to set. All right? He's got to start reading that. And he's got to read it as it's going on in the play. All right? Last couple of things. As the defensive tackle, now I'm back to defensive tackle. This is my offensive lineman I'm going against. As I'm firing off on this kid, boom, I engage. Okay? Boom. I extend my arms out. All right? As I'm extending my arms out, I'm looking over his shoulders. Again, remember the pad that we had, the blocking pad. It's more of a square at top and the bottom. Again, I'm trying to hit him up under his armpits and get up under his armpits if they were here. Because if I can get up under his armpits, then or that plate on his shoulder pads, then I can control him. Okay? So now I can see, they're running the play that way. Boom, get off of me, and I go. They're running the play to the outside. Get off of me, and I go. Okay? All right? But again, while my hands are here, I'm still pushing him back. I'm engaging and pushing him back as we're going backwards, and I'm looking to see where the ball is. All right? All right, so again, they're coming down hard in this. Boom, I get rip off, and boom, come right down the line of scrimmage. All right? All right. So when we get together with him and I'll get the blocking pad out and I'll get the sled out, we'll work on that. All right? So again, so we can get him ready for defensive tackle and offensive tackle. All right? Talk to you later.